Mark, it is an incredibly busy week when it comes to central banks, but most of them are expected to not do anything, keep policy on hold, talk a lot, no doubt, about inflation concerns, maybe growth concerns as well. If we were to get a surprise from a central bank, where do you think it would come from?
I think the most interesting one is the RBA. Will I call it a surprise? It's 2/3 price for a hike, or maybe a little bit less. And I think a hike is a real possibility tomorrow. But obviously with, 60-65% priced, either way makes it interesting. I guess the reason I highlight that one is it's the first of the major central banks to go. If they hike, it'll be the first time they've hiked for 2 meetings in a row in a couple of years. And it'll really kind of set the cat amongst the pigeons for kind of developed market central banks that they are potentially back in a hiking cycle after a couple of years of being in an easing cycle. So, yeah, that's the one I think that it's probably most interesting this week.
Mark, I'm curious in terms of your views whether or not there would be a market impact if this Xi-Trump meeting doesn't happen. Trump telling the Financial Times that he wants to see some support from China around the Straits of Hormuz. If that doesn't happen, maybe he delays, maybe he cancels that meeting. Is there a market impact for that? Is there anything priced in terms of this meeting, in terms of US-China relations?
Yeah, I think it would be taken negatively. I think we'd probably move on from it quickly. It's not the dominant theme at the moment. Obviously, the conflict's the dominant theme. But I think, people are assuming it goes ahead and assuming that we're going to get some positive headlines. We're used to the narrative here. The rhetoric comes out. We had a great shot. We got many wonderful deals. China's going to invest loads of money in the US. We solved many things. All is great. I threaten them loads. That's what we're expecting the line of platitudes to come from the US side. If the meeting's cancelled, he doesn't get that chance. So I think if it is cancelled, it would be a negative, but then we'd quickly go back to focusing on bigger issues.
Mark, on the point of Trump calling on others to help the US, what's the read for markets on the fact that few seem to be forthcoming right now? I mean, are you more bearish after the weekend's events, the commentary around the Middle East?
I am probably more bearish. I was feeling pretty negative on Friday. I'm feeling pretty negative again today. I mean, the MSCI All Country World Index is heading for its worst month since September 2022, worst month in almost 3 years. I still don't think they've fallen enough. The stocks keep on falling, but in this jagged fashion. They keep on bouncing back impressively in the European morning and then kind of heading lower later on as we realise there's no kind of salvation yet. So I think the outlook's very poor. And it goes back to your kind of initial question there, Lizzie. How are markets reading the fact that countries aren't forthcoming for providing support for the Strait of Hormuz? I think everyone knows that most of the world, barring probably Russia and Iran, want the Strait to be open again, and therefore people would like to help. But what is the goal here? I mean, Bloomberg had a story out of the weekend saying people are a bit confused what Trump's goals are. It isn't clear the US administration knows what their goals are. So, at the moment, all this does is highlight the fact that there's no easy resolution in sight. And that's why I think stocks need to price materially lower still.